This is Paul. Yeah. hmm I want you to understand something. Yes. That whatever your reason is, for refusing to enforce the rule of law, yeah, you've offended the rule of law. Now there are the scales and the sword. And this due process, as limiting the laws, as requiring due process, notice, and opportunity to be heard, yeah, and the necessaries to have legal proceedings. Substantive due process, so that judges instead of legislatures may define and guarantee fundamental fairness, justice, and liberty. Now, let's say, yes, that for some reason you just cannot fail. In your mind, failure is the absolute worst thing that you can experience. Because of the liability of being in law enforcement, right? The liability of being a judge, yes. The liability of being a state legislature, an employee of the state. See, there is this responsibility for success and failure. Yeah. Now, failure to fail, yes, means that you have been totally ineffective. Yeah. Fail, unsuccessful to go bankrupt to receive an academic grade of below the acceptable standards. Yes. Then there's a failing. Yes, it's a minor fault, a defect. Pooh. Mm. Then there's the failure. The fact or state of failing. A breaking down in health, action, strength, or efficiency. Yes. In school, you would receive a failing grade. hmm Now, I'm probably going to fail today. I woke up this morning. I said, you know what, Paul, you're going to be a failure. Yes. There is no way that you're going to get the laws of the United States enforced. Now, I could be wrong. I might not be a failure today. But I've accepted that as a man, there is no possible way that I could ever not fail. Yes. Failure is part of the human experience. Yes. And in my human experience, failure is what causes me to learn how to be successful. It's that thought of the thousand light bulbs of Thomas Edison. Yes, that every day I've failed, yes, in convincing you to enforce the laws is a day that I've documented a lawsuit. Now, every day I fail, yes, I document one or more lawsuits. Yes. Now, this lady justice, yes, that you thought it was gender specific. Um, it's not the gender of the statute. Yes. It's the scales and the sword. It could have been gentleman justice. It could have been man justice. Yeah. Lady justice. Yeah. Sir justice. Poop! Now, for those that worship justice, let's say that I failed today. For some reason, we got sewn in some technology. Yes. Of those that refuse to acknowledge failure. Yeah. I remember I had introduced myself to, well, it was a politician of Micronesia, a really nice guy. I'd been to his office, yes, and I wanted to work in Pohnpei, yes, to help them with their national needs. And I went to his office. I have the documentation of one of the drives. And I explained that Mike Gileone, my immediate supervisor at the Center for Micronesian Empowerment, yes, was a failure. He could not accomplish anything. Now, I did. I CC'd him on the email. Yes. I wanted him to read it so that he would understand that I was not really accusing him of being a failure. Yes. But he'd had some difficulty in managing an organization where, from my viewpoint, yes, they had failed to accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. Now, Mike Gileone, yes, informed me that he never fails. It's this mindset of those in the family because I think he did have some influence from the family. where he told me that we never fail. There's no possible way of failure. Now, I've always accepted failure as that part of being a person. I thought, you know what? If I fail today, it'll be all right. It'll be all right.